Hey, Benji Trades here to explain a few of the trades I took today that netted me over $10,000 in profit. A few things before I go into depth over those trades. Number one, I am not a financial advisor, so you should not listen to me, and everything I say is purely my opinion. Number two, big shout out to Mikey Underdog. He's a mentor of mine and he creates some amazing content on YouTube. His channel will be linked in the description below, so click on it. And now let's get to the setup and review the trades. Alrighty, now we're at the setup where I'm going to explain to you 3 trades I took today that netted me about $12,000 in a day, but of course I was only up $10,000 because I took a few losses. So first we're going to go over Drug. Drug was a mover on Thursday, basically took off on no news, ran to 466, consolidated on Friday. Today was on the watch list because day 3 moves are pretty hot. And so I was watching this for a day 3 move. It got volume, pushed up, a few consecutive 5-minute candles just pushing up. And then my first entry was actually on this flag right here. A little under 220. I was adding these dips because I loved it. First off, let me tell you what these lines mean. We have a white line, that's VWAP, and the blue line, 8 EMA. These 2 lines are mostly what I use. Yellow line, we have a 20 EMA, then we have a 50 EMA for the orange, and 200 for this pinkish. But the 20, 50, and 200 I don't really pay attention to as much. I mostly pay attention to VWAP and the 8 EMA. So on a 5-minute pullback, I look for pullbacks to the VWAP or 8 EMA. Either or, I kind of just like to see where it's going to respect the line. And so you see, we basically had a perfect pullback, 5-minute pullback, to VWAP and the 8 EMA. Look at the volume price analysis. Basically, if we're looking at these candlesticks down here, just volume levels, we see we have a huge volume burst, which broke high day at the time at 1020. A major volume pullback and price action pullback. Another volume pullback with price action pullback. And then at 1035, skyrocket in volume and skyrocket in price. This is what I like to look for. Volume pullback with price pullback. When this happens, I'm looking for entries near VWAP or the 8 EMA, either or. And I was adding under 220 on this. And as we can see, broke over new highs. Honestly, I didn't get this full move. I mostly sold around 250 to 260. If we look at the 1 minute, 1 minute right here, we can see it really pulled back, and it looked like it almost was going to break down, but VWAP saved it, and then out of nowhere, it got a huge volume burst straight up to 240s and 250s, and basically I was in from down here, so quick little take on that, quick little scalp. Nice 4K bag. Next, we're going to look at GRFX. GRFX was another great, all of these are basically 5-minute flag pullback setups, and of course I've been getting these plays from Mikey, so definitely go check out his channel, like I said in the beginning. And GRFX, we have this 5-minute flag that popped up. But first off, let's look at the chart. The daily chart itself, look at that, only 4 days on the market. It's a new IPO, so this thing had range, lots of range, and that's what I was looking for. There was no real news. Actually, let me see. The only news was on Friday. They had news of closing their offering. That's it. So offering news that's closed, not the greatest news, but what I really liked was it was an IPO. There was lots of range. IPOs, they can go nuts. So what I was looking for from this was basically just a 5-minute setup. I told myself if it didn't 5-minute setup, then I'm not taking it. So after this nice move to let me see. After this nice move to 390s, we broke over pre-market highs, 390s. We pulled back almost to the exact same style as Drug. Basically, we had a pullback to VWAP/8 EMA with volume pullback. And once I saw this pulling back and basing out around VWAP, I was adding in the 340s, 350s. I probably had an average of like low 350s on this and sold over 390, which was a great play for me. So you can tell, 1-minute chart, we have a peak in volume at 953, and then we slowly stair-step down in volume and price until we get near the VWAP. Notice how, like I was saying, I like the volume, the pullbacks of VWAP, but it didn't quite get there. I am mostly looking for the range, like around the range of VWAP. So let's say if price pulled back to, like I said, I was adding around 350s. If it pulled back to low 340s, I'd still be in. I wouldn't be stopping out. I'd actually be adding more, and I would still add more, maybe a little bit below 340, just to see if it got bought up. But if it got burnt down, if I saw a huge volume spike downwards, lots of selling pressure, I would have been out. I would have stopped out of this. But when it comes to VWAP pullbacks, I like to see it either hover around, above, at, or a little bit below. Like it's a range. You start adding in a range. You don't wait for the perfect entry, you add during a range. And then I held on, sold over a new high day. Of course it ran more, but that's, if you get in low 350s average, sell over 390s, that's 35 cents, 40 cents. Like, that's a great play. And then finally, we're going to go over PRTY, which is my final play of the day, where we had another 5-minute flag setup. There was no news on this, but it was mostly a daily play. As you can see, we kind of, my thinkorswim to load. As you can see, I was hoping for 265 break. We broke it slightly, but I thought it would go more. But honestly, this daily right here, it had potential to break over 265 and go for 3. So that's what I was really looking for. And on the 5-minute, I wanted to see it pull back and have a great 5-minute setup, which is exactly what it did. It found this kind of pre-market high level, pulled back at 940, pulled back on the 5-minute to the 8 EMA, a little bit below VWAP, to the 8 EMA, and shot right up. And like I said, I'm buying in that range. I'm not buying like directly at VWAP. I'm not stopping out directly below. Because if I stopped out right below, like look at that. Like if I was like, oh yeah, I'm buying at VWAP and stopping out below 236, then I would have missed the move. Because lowest it went was 235, which was 1 cent below VWAP and a little bit above the 8 EMA. So honestly, if I was to say, I was going to stop out below probably 233, 232 area, but never went there. So when I was adding below 240, I was feeling good. So I was adding below 240 in this range right here between 947 to 952. I was alerting the chat room, my entries, and out of nowhere, get a huge volume spike, 952, shot right over new high a day, and just continued to rise. That was a great play. Netted me another 4K in the day, and yeah, just basically 3 trades in the day right there. Took 1 L, which was APRN. Yeah, APRN, 1 L. Little L right there. I thought it would be a nice 5-minute pullback right here around the VWAP level, but as you can see, it broke down way below, so stopped out that one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned some stuff. If you did, thumbs it up, subscribe, and I'm hoping to post more YouTube videos explaining my trades further. Thanks for watching.